Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving you match analysis for Turkey versus USA. Let's go. All right, so America have corner, sorry, USA. As we've seen here on the D, there's a player that's nearby there. He's also, you know what, I don't really mind about that. He can probably rush there. Not much problems there, sorry. Him, I would probably want him to be a bit closer to the D. That's all I can ask from him. And as we go here into the middle that's going on, nobody near the post. And as you can see, he is making the run there. I think his role is to block him. This reminds me of a corner that City scored against Liverpool. It was John Stones that scored. Something similar. I think he blocked. I don't know what happened exactly, but it was something similar to this, where someone comes like that, he blocks it. They almost score. But now this is what frustrates me a bit. So where do you want to pass the ball? At the goal, right? So if you want to pass the ball, make sure it passes through the middle straight to him. But if you can't or feeling nervous, kick it out. Now what does he do? Plays a terrible pass back into danger. And then, fortunately enough, the keeper makes the save, and they are just quick enough to get rid of that one. All right, close call for Turkey. Okay, let's head on. This is a corner kick from the United States. All right, so no man on the post. I really love having a man on the post. There's someone near the goalkeeper, though. Yeah, I guess that's something. All right, not marking anyone, 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 not marking anyone. Okay, reason why you don't want this. Okay, I understand that they have to be, what do you call this? They have to put themselves in a way such that they are in a formation or in a line, but then again, you'd want someone to be at least near someone because he's unmarked. He's also unmarked here, the player that's in black. I know you can barely see him. So as the cross comes in, right? So you have all these players here. That you have about three players on one man, and guess who's free? This is what I don't really like. And then look at the melee. That's I mean, I don't know. I really don't know if this is the aim. I don't know if this is crowd the keeper or crowd yourselves because that's a lot of players going for one ball. And mind you, he's completely unmarked because there's no one near him. Anyway, let's continue the play. And it's not even the players that are here. You have all these players here. I didn't even notice. I just thought he was part of the melee. Sorry about that. I mean, he has so much space. And this is why I would rather have a mix of a man-to-man and a bit of zono. Probably want to have two or three players free, and then the rest have to have someone on them. But like this, I mean, come on. Come on. I think this is deliberate from the USA, but still, I mean, takes it down. Go. Wow. Just wow. Anyway, let's move on a bit forward. I mean, cross comes in. You've seen this all in one, two, three. And how many USA players hit? One, two, three, four. And then just look at the way they get crowded. But everyone goes there. Everyone. I do know they serve as blockers, but if there was a man at the post, it'd probably be free. He just takes it, boom, goal. Nice shot. Very well taken. Let's go to the next goal of the match. All right, so the goal comes from Turkey, right? And it's mainly because, okay, let's say one, two, three. So the player that's here pushes upwards, creating space for the player to run through. That's what happens here, basically. So he receives the ball, and then he's just watching him. I understand you're watching, but can you please come a bit to the side so you can try and block off that angle? Yes, you give him space here, but you also avoid the pass going there, and you probably hope that one of your teammates or yourself can recover because once he goes past that point, he can take up from there, and then you can follow in case he goes that way. Let's see what ends up happening. Boom, ball is played into it. Now, he should have just stayed. Okay, so let me just go. All right, so this is him, right? He can see everything that's developing. He has two options: go for the ball or cover the space. What he should have been doing is to cover the space. Reason being, there's just too much space for him to run into. So that's the danger that's there. You're not expecting him to shoot, and no, 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 no. In the best case scenario, obviously, which is, most likely to happen. So he should be moving backwards because all he's doing is giving him space. And it's like he dribbles himself because he goes the wrong way and already he's behind the player. And then he takes over from him. And then what exactly happened here? So yeah, that's a good run. Not only does he create a passing option for his teammate, he also takes out the defender. Boom. And then there's space for Adagula to run into. And then it's a good touch and also good finish. I do think the keeper could have come out just a bit earlier though. All right, so let's go through this again. As we've seen here, massive gap, massive. That's too much space in between. And also he's in tons of space. But the problem arises from here. So what does he do? He follows, right? Then he also leaves space. So what could have possibly happened is he, realizing that he's pushed up there, he could have just gone in to take up this position just for the sake of providing cover. And maybe he goes, no, 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 that's not his job. This is his job, so that he can also take care from there. As we play, all right, he starts moving backwards, but still he has the man with him. But I don't know exactly what he's marking because he could. That's what I preferred him to go there because he's not in a position to go for the ball, and then he's very far away. That's why I wanted him at first to just take a few steps to the other side, and then you can't be dribbled from there. If it's close by, I can understand. Because look at the feint he makes it somewhere here. See, bam, and already he's been dribbled. He should have just gone back. Run is made, and then I like how he continues the run. Some other players would stay admiring their own pass, but no. He realizes I have to move. Pass is played. This is why I think the goalkeeper is a bit slow to come out. So why do I think he could have gotten? Boom! Immediately that pass reaches. Should have gone there. He could have gone either ways with that. Or he could have gone either way, but he went the right way, and that led to a goal. Once again, United States with a corner routine. And then I don't know what routine this one is exactly. I really don't know. Once again, no man at the post. And then Adagula, you know what? I think they did the best thing just to make sure he's near and around. All right. And this is when he's about to start. He's near the goalkeeper, but that doesn't really matter. So don't tell me that. So they have this thing where they're going to be the line. And I just hope the same thing doesn't happen whereby they all just end up crowding one particular area. So as they're preparing to take the ball in, boom, cross comes in. They all rush out. And then he heads it back onto him. And then he saves it, but then he finishes. And funny enough, I think this was called for offside, but I really don't think so. It should have been called for offside. All right, so ball is played here. Vroom. Everyone keeps rushing back. Number 11, Kev, the player that's here. Because instead of deciding to run with his team, I don't know what he's trying to do. Maybe he's being pulled, I don't know. But already, just because this is why it's so risky to play these high lines, because just one player in this team, and this game plan, and this move is already offset. He's the slowest one here. I mean, even him has done a better job of getting up. Boom. And this is the player that does score the goal. He's offside, right? But it hits him. So is it because usually when I watch football, they usually give goals for things like this because he got the last touch. Is it because it has to be an intentional play to get the offside? I don't know. But him, that's a warning sign. That is a big warning sign. Boom. Save. And the fact he stayed back and the person that he was assigned to mark or was supposedly marking still left him. Crazy. Okay, next goal of the match. This is tricky and this is a really, really good move. As you can see here, the run's coming from him. So someone really has to go for the ball. Someone has to go for the ball. And now this is the problem when two players mark one because I'd rather push this guy to go and get the ball so that I can cover him if I'm Weston McKennie. But instead they end up changing places and no one ends up marking him. Don't forget the blind signing run he made, third man run, boom. And then